Good morning, students of class 4. Students, today I'm going to start with a new lesson, lesson 3, the blind man and the elephant. Students, I have read and explained and discussed lesson 1, the clever jackal, lesson 2, Mayur the peacock, and poem 1, the wind. And I'm sure all of you must have completed the question and answers, word meaning, make sentences, exercise, and writing section of the taught lessons. Those of you who still have not done, please complete your work and start learning. Children, those of you who are having book, please turn to page number 20 as we'll be starting with the new lesson. Now, students, before I read the lesson and explain it to you, the title of the lesson is The Blind Man and the Elephant. Students, what do you mean by blind man? Blind man means people who are unable to see. But student, there's a small suggestion for you. Calling anybody blind is not good. Rather than using the word blind, we can use the word visually impaired, which also means blind, but then saying blind is very blunt. So it's a small suggestion that children please use the word visually impaired rather than using the word blind. Meaning is same, but the language is better. So please keep in mind then, for rather than using the word blind, use visually impaired, meaning is same, a person who is unable to see, who cannot see, who has no vision. That means visually impaired. Spelling of visually is VISUALLY and impaired is EMPAIRED. So rather than using the word blind, please use the word visually impaired. It's a suggestion. An elephant, everybody, I'm sure, must have seen an elephant. If you haven't seen an elephant till now, you can always use the internet. If you type elephant on Google, a picture will come and you'll be able to see an elephant. Now, children, I'm sure everybody is familiar with an elephant. You must have seen an elephant. Now, a small question for you. If you happen to meet a visually impaired person or any visually impaired people, and if they ask you a question that please describe an elephant to us, how will you describe an elephant to a visually impaired person? आप कैसे बताओगे उस व्यक्ति को जो देख नहीं सकता कि हाथी कैसा दिखता है? How will you describe an elephant? And I think you'll describe like this, that elephant is the largest land animal known for his gentle attitude and intelligence. Students, we know that elephant is a huge animal. It appears as if a small mountain in front of us. And elephant is so huge that it weighs around 6,000 to 8,000 kgs. Just imagine 6 tons to 8 tons is the weight of an adult elephant, and its height is it's around 9 to 10 feet tall in height. I'm talking about the Asian elephant. African elephants are taller. They can grow up to 13 feet. So Asian elephants grow up to 10 feet, 11 feet, depending. It varies from elephant to elephant. And then about the description of the body, the elephant's legs, they are long, wide, like columns or pillars. Like columns or pillars. Huge legs. From far, they appear like bark of a tree. Then the elephant has got huge cylindrical shaped body. Then the elephant's tail is small compared to its body. Its tail is very small and it appears like a small rope hanging from the body. Then the elephant has got a huge head with two huge white fan shaped ears. Elephant have got huge fan shaped ears because when they flap their ears, the air is circulated and that air cools their body. So they have got huge fan shaped ears which are flat. Then the elephant has got a long flexible trunk. Rather than having a nose, they have a trunk which is flexible. And it is so flexible that it can even pick a coin from the ground. It can carry heavy loads up to 250 kgs also. And it can pick a small 1 rupee coin from the ground also. It is so flexible. And children, you all are aware that elephant uses its trunk to put the food in its mouth or to drink water. It fills water in its trunk and then it puts the water in its mouth. So, and elephants are grayish in color, grayish brown sort of this thing. And elephants are very gentle and intelligent. That's the reason people tame the elephants. They are tamed animals and they are also domesticated. Uh, you must have seen in Discovery Channel and all, they are used by the forest department to carry heavy logs of wood. Then they are used by the temple for taking out processions and ceremonies, isn't it? Weddings also, elephants are used. Tourist places, elephants are used. Tourists sit on them. है ना? So they are used because they can be domesticated, they can be tamed because they are gentle creatures. In spite of having a huge body, they are gentle. They will not harm you unless you irritate or provoke them. So, students, this story is a parable. Now, I'll tell you what a parable is. A parable is a short story which contains a moral. A parable, student, is a short story which contains a moral. Now, I'll start with the lesson, students. Have you ever seen an elephant? I'm sure everybody has seen, and now I've described also. So you are familiar with elephant, and I'm sure everybody has seen the elephant. What do you think it looks like? I have described the elephant, so you know how it looks, and you've seen also. You must know that a blind person is one who cannot see. I've explained whom do we call blind? A person who is unable to see. And how will you describe the elephant to them? That also I've explained. How will you describe? Now we'll read the story. First I'll read, then I'll explain. Students, first I'll go through the new words which are there in the lesson. Our first word on page 20 is tame. Tame means gentle. Tame means gentle, who's not furious, who's not ferocious. Got it? You cannot tame a lion, a leopard, but you can tame a dog, an elephant, because these are gentle animals. They don't harm or hurt you unless you provoke them. Then our next words are opined. Opined is the past form of opinion and which means gave an opinion. If you give an opinion, that is you opined. Argue means to quarrel. Whenever there's a difference of opinion, you tend to argue because you don't agree with the other person. So these were the three new words of the lesson, students. But there's a phrase given at the bottom of page number 22, and the phrase is put into context, means to argue about something. When there's a difference of opinion, you tend to argue. You tend to keep your opinion that I'm right, you're not right. The other person may be saying, I'm right, you are not right. So when you argue, that is put into context. Now, students, I'll read the lesson for you. Please listen to me carefully. The blind man and the elephant. Once upon a time, a wise man came to a village with his elephant. Students, this story is about a long time back. And what happened? A wise man, as you can see in the picture, wise man, he appears like a sage. And because sage, they preach sermons, they teach us so many things. Teach us so many good things. We call them wise because they have got more knowledge, they are more experienced, and they teach moral values to us. So we call them wise. So a wise man came to a village with his elephant. So long back, a wise man, he had an elephant, and with his elephant, he came to a particular village. Once upon a time, a wise man came to a village with his elephant. The elephant's name was Gajju. It was very large and looked like a mountain. Many people came to see and touch him. Gajju was a tame animal, so no one was afraid of him. Four friends also came to see the elephant. As none of them had seen an elephant before, they were very eager to see one. However, something was very different about the four friends. All of them were blind. The first one touched the elephant's leg and said, "The elephant is like a tree." The second person touched the tail of the elephant and said, "No, this elephant is like a rope." The third friend came and he touched the trunk of the elephant and opined, "You both are wrong. The elephant is like a snake." The fourth friend came forward and found the elephant's ears and said, "All of you are wrong. The elephant is very much like a fan." Thus they all began to argue amongst themselves and started fighting. They all had their own views of what the elephant was like. Each of them thought that he was right. On seeing the friends fighting, the wise man came forward and told them, "Dear friends, each one of you is saying the right thing. But when your views are put into context, then none of you is right because each one of you is describing only a part of the big elephant." "How's that?" asked the friends. The wise man explained. "The elephant's leg looks and feels like a pillar. The tail is like a rope. The trunk does feel like a snake, and the ears are like fans. You all should have pooled your information instead of arguing over who is right." The four friends realized their mistake and did as advised by the wise men. Thus, they were finally able to get a clear picture of the animal in their mind. They understood that one should examine a matter from all sides and only then give his or her opinion. Therefore, we should not quarrel with others who have different opinions because everybody looks at things from different angles. We should always appreciate other people's opinions. This will go a long way in improving our relations with them. So, this was the reading of the lesson, students. Now I explain. Once upon a time, a wise man came to a village with his elephant. The elephant's name was Gajju. It was very large and looked like a mountain. Students, a wise man came to a particular village with his elephant, an elephant whom he must have tamed, who was domesticated, who was not wild. And the name of the elephant was Gajju. The elephant's name was Gajju, and he was the wise man's elephant. The wise man, along with his elephant, came to a village. It was very large and looked like a mountain. As we have seen an elephant. The elephant appears like a small mountain because of its huge, large body. Many people came to see and touch him. Gajju was a tame animal, so no one was afraid of him. Now, as he was a tame animal, the wise man, the sage, must have domesticated him. So, the people of the village, because it's a story of long time back, maybe the people of that particular village must have not seen an elephant. So, they all came to see the elephant. They saw the elephant, they touched it also, and the elephant did not harm them because it was a gentle animal. It was a tame animal. So nobody was scared of the elephant. Everybody was touching the elephant, looking at him. They were curious. Out of curiosity, people were touching him. Now, four friends also came to see the elephant. As none of them had seen an elephant before, now there were four friends in the village who also came to see the elephant, the wise man's elephant Gajju. As none of them had seen an elephant before, because till now they had not seen an elephant. So they were also curious. They also wanted to see the elephant. They were very eager, they were very impatient to see the elephant. They couldn't stop themselves. They just wanted to go near the elephant, touch him, see him. However, something was different about the four friends. Or now, students, in this line, again I'm reading this line, just notice one word. However, something was very different about the four friends. Now, students, just remember that the word different has been used in this sentence. All of them were blind. Now, why I told you different, to keep in mind the word different? Because this word separates the four friends from the normal people. And people who are not normal, who lack something, they lack some physical abilities, like they're unable to see, unable to hear, unable to speak, uh, any leg problem, they have any problem. So such people who are not normal, they are known as differently abled people. Children, please keep this in mind. Such people are known as differently abled people because they are different from the normal people. And students, keep in mind, we should always respect the differently able people. We should not make fun of them. We should not tease them. We should not irritate them. We should treat them like with respect and affection. At times, we do not respect and make fun of such people. Students, please don't do that. They also deserve the same love and affection and respect what we tend to have for ourselves. So remember, students, rather than calling anyone blind, deaf, dumb, please, or lame, call them as differently able people because they are differently able. They are good in their own way. It is not, they have not done it intentionally, maybe because of an accident, maybe because by birth. It can vary, the reason can vary, but all they need is our love, affection and respect. So remember the word different, because if you remember the word difference, you will be able to remember that for such people we use differently able people. So the four friends who came to see the elephant they were all visually impaired. They were all blind. They were unable to see. Now, out of curiosity, the first one touched the elephant's leg and said, "The elephant is like a tree." The first friend, he touched the elephant's leg. Now, just keep in mind that he's just touching only the leg of the elephant. He's just touching one part of the elephant's body. And he's framing the opinion that the elephant looks like a tree. The first friend, he has just touched the leg of the elephant and he has framed the opinion. He thinks the elephant looks like a tree. In his mind, he has framed the picture of the elephant as a tree. Now, the second person touched the tail of the elephant and said, no, this elephant is like a rope. Now, when the first friend said the elephant is like a tree because he had just touched the leg of the elephant, the second friend had touched the tail of the elephant. You can see the first one is touching the leg, the second friend is holding the tail. So, the second friend, he had touched the tail of the elephant. So, for him, the elephant was like a rope. So, he said no. He told his first friend, no, the elephant is not like a tree, it's like a rope. The third friend came and he touched the trunk of the elephant and opined, you both are wrong. The elephant is like a snake. Now, the third friend, he came and he just touched the trunk. He is holding the trunk of the elephant, as you can see in the picture, and then he is of the opinion after touching the trunk of the elephant because it's flexible and it is of a shape of the snake. So he said that you both of you are wrong. The first one was describing the elephant as a tree. The second one was describing the elephant as a rope because they were touching different parts of the elephant. So they were having a different picture of the elephant in their mind. So the third friend, he was touching the trunk. So he said, both of you are wrong. The elephant seems to be like a snake because he was just holding the trunk, not the entire body. Keep in mind, they're just touching one part of the body and framing the picture of the elephant in their mind, which is wrong. Now, the fourth friend came forward and found the elephant's ears and said, all of you are wrong. The elephant is very much like a fan. Now, the fourth friend, he also came forward. He also came near the elephant and he found the elephant's ears. In the picture, you can see he is touching the elephant's ear, and then the shape of the elephant ears is like a fan. Children, not the ceiling fan what you are having in your homes, because this story has been written long time back when there was no electricity and people used to use that hand fan which we use with the hand, and the elephant ears are in the shape of a fan which we use with the hand. So please do not get confused with the ceiling fan above your head. Fine. So the fourth friend said that the elephant's ear is like fan. All three of you are incorrect. The first one had just touched a leg and he had framed the picture of elephant in his mind that the elephant looks like a tree. The second friend, he had just touched the tail of the elephant and he had framed the picture of elephant as a rope. The third friend had touched the trunk of the elephant only and he had framed the picture in his mind of the elephant as a snake. And the fourth friend had just touched the ear and he came to the opinion that the elephant looks like a fan. So all the four friends were having different opinions because they were just touching a part of the elephant's body. They were not imagining it as a whole body. By touching only one part, they came to the conclusion that the elephant looks like a snake, a tree, a fan, and a rope. Thus, they all began to argue among themselves and started fighting. Since everybody was having a difference of opinion, everybody had a different picture and image of elephant in his mind, they had a difference of opinion. Nobody was agreeing. One said it's like rope, the other one said it's like tree, third one said it's like fan, and the fourth one said it's like a snake. So nobody was agreeing with each other's opinion. So the argument started, and they all had their own views of what the elephant was like. Each of them thought that he was right. Now all was correct individually, but when they were combining the information, it was different. For one, it was tree, for one, it was snake, for one, it was rope, and for one, it was fan. So there was a difference of opinion, though they were right individually, but as combined, the picture of image of elephant was not, they were not able to form the correct image of the elephant in the mind. So there was a difference of opinion. So they started to argue, and what happened when the argument gets heated? It generally ends into a fight, a quarrel. On seeing the friends fighting, the wise men came forward and told them. Now, when the wise men saw that the four friends, after touching the elephant, they were fighting, the argument resulted into a fighting. It ended into a fighting because everybody was having a different opinion about the elephant. Dear friends, now just look at the way how he's addressing. He's addressing them as dear friends. He's addressing them with respect. So when you address, you also use such words. Dear friends, each one of you is saying the right thing. Now he told the friends that each one of you is right in your own way. But when your views are put into context, then none of you is right because each of you is describing only a part of the big elephant. Now he told the friends that you are arguing about something. Fine. And your argument, you are not coming to any conclusion. You are saying you are right, you are saying I am right, I am right, I am right. So then this is because you are not describing the whole body of the elephant. You, each one of you is describing only a part of the elephant's body. An elephant's body has got different parts. And to come to a conclusion, to get the correct image or picture of the elephant in your mind, you need to uh, describe the all the parts of the elephant's body, not one part. After just describing one part, you won't be able to frame the picture of elephant. So you need to describe its trunks, its legs, its body, its ears, its head, its tail, everything. And when you combine the information, you will be able to picturize the picture of elephant in your mind. Now, when he said this, that you are just describing a part of the animal, not the entire body, how's that? Asked the friends. The friend had asked him, how's that possible? Why? Why are we arguing if we are right? The wise man explained. the elephant's legs, the elephant's leg, look, looks and feels like a pillar. No doubt, as the first friend had said, that the elephant legs do look like a pillar. If you touch them, you can feel them as a pillar. The tail is also like a rope. The trunk does feel like a snake. The trunk is flexible like a snake. It can turn around. And the ears are like fans, and ears are also of fan shape. So each one of you is right. You all should have pooled your information instead of arguing over who is right. Now the wise man told them that instead of arguing, you all were right in your individual sense, but you should have pooled your information. Students, now what do you mean by pool? Pool means to share and to collect. To collect anything, any information. It can be money, information, idea. To collect and to share. Pool means to collect and to share. So when a number of people or a quantity of a particular thing such as information, ideas, they are collected together and shared together, then only one you come to one conclusion. So that is pooling. So what were the friends doing? They were having their own opinions. They were not ready to listen to the other. If they would have collected and combined their information, they would have pooled their information, they would have formed the correct image of the elephant in their minds. So the wise men advised them to pool their information. Now that the elephant ears are of fan shape, the tail is like a rope, the legs are cylindrical like pillar, the legs are long like column pillars, and then the trunk is like a snake. But they are different parts of the body, and to get a clear picture of the elephant, you need to assemble, join, and combine your information. The four friends realized their mistake. Now, the four friends realized what they were doing. and did as advised by the wise man. And they pooled in their information. They combined their information, and hence they were able to get a clear picture of the animal in their mind. Thus, they were finally able to get a clear picture of their animal in their mind. After combining the information that the elephant's legs are strong like column pillars, the ears are big fan shape, the tail is small like a rope, the trunk is like a snake. So they were able to get a clear picture of the elephant in their mind. They understood that one should examine a matter from all sides and only then give his or her opinion. And then they understood that we were just talking about one part of the body, which is not correct. And what happens, at times it happens when you need to give opinion about one thing, you just look from your angle only. Other people may look at the same thing from his or her angle, which may differ from you. But then you should listen to others also. Children, you should not be rigid. We should be flexible. We should be open minded. What happens? हम जो कह रहे हैं बेटा वो सच है, जो दूसरा कह रहा है वो गलत. इसी बात पे हम अधिकतर झगड़ा कर लेते हैं. दिस इज नॉट राइट. हमें अपनी सोच बदलनी है. हर इंसान का किसी भी चीज के प्रति अपना बेटा देखने का नजरिया होता है. कुछ उसके लिए अच्छा हो सकता है, कुछ हमारे लिए बुरा हो सकता है. It varies, it differs from person to person. So, children, we should be open minded, we should be flexible in our thoughts, we should accept others' opinion also. We should not be rigid, no, only I am right, you are wrong. This should not be there in your behavior attitude. If you do this, you'll never come to the correct conclusion. Students, you need to take other people's opinion also. So you'll get better results after that. Therefore, we should not quarrel with others who have different opinions, because everybody looks at things from different angles, because everybody has got his plus or minus his uh, that particular thing may suit him, he may like or he may dislike. A certain thing can be good for me, but it can be bad for you. So you're looking at the thing from your point of view, and I'm looking at the thing from my point of view. So it is not that I'm right and you are wrong, or you are right or I am wrong. It is that we need to come to the conclusion. I need to take your point of view and you need to take my point of view, then only we'll be able to conclude. So you should be flexible in your thoughts. We should not behave like that stereotype mentality कि बस जो सुन लिया वो मान लिया ना. हमें चारों तरफ से, हर एंगल से किसी भी चीज को देख के तब कंक्लूजन पे, तब उसके बारे में अपने विचार रखने चाहिए. अगर हम सबकी बात सुनेंगे तो हम सही सोचेंगे, सही करेंगे. We should always appreciate other people's opinion. And children, we should not think that only what we think is correct. Other people can think better than us. So we should accept their opinions also, and we should appreciate, nay, that what you thought was better than what I could think. So other people are always better, and you need to keep this in mind. And if you tend to listen to them, if you accept their opinions, you might end with good results. So this will go a long way in improving our relations with them, and this will help you improve your relations with your family members, with your friends, with your teachers, with your classmates, and with anyone. So children, you need not be that rigid in thinking. You should be flexible, you should be open minded, you should accept other people also. Listen to other people before you frame any opinion about anyone. And this was a parable, which means a short story which had a moral. And this story does teaches us that we should be open minded, we should not be rigid, we should not come to the conclusion looking at from one angle only. We should, for everything, we should look from different angles. We should accept others' opinions and then only come to the conclusion. So we will always have a good result, and we must appreciate other people's opinion also, because they can be better than us. Hope you all have understood the lesson, children. Now, next class, I'll be continuing the lesson.